This morning we're doing cam bearings. We're gonna have probably 4 or 5 engines on the engine stand by the end of the day, so I'm doing cam bearings, getting them ready. So let's talk a little about cam bearings. Okay, so in these Buick motors, when they were built in the 80s, they were designed for people who didn't change their oil, so they have really big oil holes, which is very common. So as you can see, I got the good old Power Source book out of there, which is common knowledge because this stuff is pushing 40 years old. It's 40 years old, 85 to 2005, 25. Is making smaller holes. So if we make smaller holes and we keep our oil change, which we know we will, we can gain some oil pressure and volume to the bottom end of the motor, because these motors do not have priority mains oiling. So the Power Source book talks about using a 80 thousandths hole and a 60 thousandths hole, and I'm a little chicken to do that, so I go to 90, and I've been doing that for several years. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. There is some other options. Here you can groove the cam bearings on the back side. These are the TA cam bearings. These are really expensive for what they are, and I mean, if you don't have access to a lathe or your engine builder doesn't want to do it, they're a good alternative, but I don't use them. They're way too expensive. Here's another set that I've grooved in house. Okay, one groove. So you know, you can do that if you have a lathe. You got a whiz wheel, you can do it too. But there's a lot to be gained by plugging internal oil leaks in engines and in transmissions. That's one of the reasons I use scarf cut solid seals instead of scarf cut seals in transmissions. And you can gain some oil pressure. So in addition to sending more oil to the mains and the rods by doing this, you're also one thing we cannot control in these engines is cam bearing clearance. Some of these blocks, they vary. I've got one particular engine and it's a freak. It makes like 35 pounds of oil pressure with 10W30 when it's hot in the summertime and it's 200 degrees coolant temperature. It makes 35 pounds of oil pressure, and it's always going down the road cruising right on the bypass spring about 60. It's a freak. It's not normal. The only thing I can come up with on that particular engine is that the cam bearing clearance on it is tighter, and that's something I don't check because there are no cam bearings. They all come one size. So if you're looking to gain a few pounds of oil pressure, if you're looking to send more oil down to the bottom of the motor for your mains and your rods, this is something that you should be doing in any high performance Buick V6. It's something that I do in any build, including a stock rebuild, and you will be rewarded with probably 15 to 25 pounds of hot idle oil pressure. And again, the rise will be significant. It'll be instantaneous and it will work. To see, look, I got the Durabond expensive bearing in the red box, the Durabond general bearing in a blue box, and I got the Engine Tech bearing. I really don't see a difference. Oh, and the TA bearing, which is also a Durabond bearing. I don't see any difference in cam bearings. Haven't had a engine fail because of a cam bearing issue, so I don't think you can go wrong with any bearing manufacturer. So take that for what it's worth. I hope it helps somebody. This is stuff we practice here every day, all day.